admin. If you ever need something delivered, just entrust our company to do it. I'll give you a discount.
I didn't think anyone else would come to visit him today.
He's a household name in Omorphes. Of course, many would wish to come.
You don't sound like you're from Omorphes. He's commemorated on another day. Few know the actual day he died, let alone where his grave lies.
Is that so? Does that not make me suspicious then? Are you going to detain me and take me back for questioning?
No, I can tell you come here with no malicious intent. If you did, I doubt you'd have only brought flowers.
Was it his wish to be buried here?
Yes. He always said that crowded places were not to his liking. Of course, his position didn't allow him the freedom to act in accordance with his preference. This place, at least, can grant him the peace he deserved.
Can you tell me about him? I'm a big admirer of his. It took a lot of research for me to find this place. A pity that I'll never get the chance to speak to him.
Of course. He accomplished many great deeds. His story takes up at least 2/3 of the records in any history book you will find here. Carrying out reforms under the threat of daggers and swords, inspiring a nation with his artworks, and guiding us forward after the daybreak. The life he lived seemed to be lifted straight out of a play. Of course, his life wasn't all smooth sailing. For example, he lost a priceless artwork to an innkeeper in a bet, arrived late to the most crucial debate of his life, and failed in an art contest against a frustrated puppeteer. When someone is elevated to a deity, people often forget that they live and breathe as anyone else does. Yet aside from his occasional complaints to those close to him, he never failed to live up to the lofty standards expected of him. He lost the artwork to the innkeeper so that the inn could sustain itself and keep relieving the poor. He was late to the debate because he had already pushed himself past the breaking point. He even risked his status to establish a private art competition so that he could motivate the artist he admired. Paying the damage to his reputation, no mind, and failed miserably.
A fascinating person indeed. Makes me wonder why I haven't read any of these stories from the records.
Because people always prefer what they wanted him to be, rather than what he was. But as far as I'm concerned, the man I know had always been the same Lucian. The one whom I vowed to protect, whom I spent decades with, and whom I came here for today. I have no regrets for the past. But I do miss him sometimes. It's just... if only I had realized it sooner. Hello, Athena. How did your examination go? What is that?
Grandmother, I passed the exam. I'm now a knight of Convallaria, just like you.
That's my girl. But I only asked you to acquire the eyes on the Immortal Star. You didn't have to bring it to me.
I know. I didn't bring it because of the exam, but because I made a promise to someone.
To whom?
His name was Lucian. Grandmother, what's wrong? I met Mr. Lucian in the temple, but then so many bizarre things happened. I think maybe it was all a dream or something.
It's all right, Athena. Tell me, what was this promise you made?
Mr. Lucian wanted me to deliver this Medusa statue to you, because he was the one who borrowed the eyes on the Immortal Star, and he promised to return it to you. He also wanted me to tell you that while he might be a procrastinator, he's not a liar, and that it's a shame a gem with the name as pretty as eyes on the Immortal Star is thought to be cursed. So he borrowed it to remove all of the impurities within before returning it to you. To show you that no gem, no family, no person can be forever cursed and bound to their fate.
Were these his words? For real?
I mean, I could have simply dreamt it all up.
Was there anything else?
I don't think so. I don't really remember. I'm sorry, Grandmother. I bet I sound ridiculous right now.
It's fine. The examination must have been taxing for you. Go home and get the rest you deserve.
Yes, Grandmother. Grandmother, I just remembered something. Mr. Lucian did say one last thing. He said that Eyes on the Immortal Star is a pretty name, but feels somewhat cold and distant. So he said that, since he has now removed all the impurities from it, it should have a different name. He thought it should be called Immortal Star in Thy Eyes.